No antics today?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Kind of disappointing everybody.
Sorry.
Sorry, you still look good.
Yeah, that's the point. We're giving them what they're paying for.
Let them take a good look before we all go back to our part-time jobs, as I said last night. Well, no antics. Do we want to review what happened in the meeting?
Yeah, I think we're good with that. Now, I will start with, we did challenge you guys.
Yeah.
To a mustache off, if you will. Not shave it off, but let's see who has the best one.
Different styles, whatever's your flavor.
Yeah. If you're into little mustaches, shave yourself a little mustache. If you're into part mustaches, shave that. If you're into Fu Manchus, do it. I will say, Daryl
looks good.
You look damn good,
Daryl
bro.
looks real good.
And well done on raising money for the German Shepherd rescue.
If you guys haven't heard already, Daryl has a fundraiser going on Facebook, and he's got 3 different markers, I believe. The first one was $500. He shaved his face for the first time in like 4 or 5 years, he said, down to a mustache. If he hits $750, he's gonna let people wax his chest hair off. And I forget what the ultimate 1,000 goal was.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I just knew the 750.
I know he kept adding to it. So anyway, if you want to help wax or at least spectate waxing Daryl's chest hair, then you can go on Facebook and help him raise some money as well.
Yeah, cool deal. All right, guys, recap. Yesterday, a lot of you guys were able to show up to the meeting and put your opinion in, so we appreciate that. And it gave us a little bit of direction to know what the community wanted. So some of us didn't want to give up the conditioning. Some of us didn't want to give up the strength. Some of us didn't want to give up 60-minute classes to go to smaller classes. So, and some of us were willing to go to smaller classes. But it was like a fine mix of all of it. So we decided that it made the most sense to stick to the same class schedule that we had before all of this. Same class schedule at 60 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and plan on a regular CrossFit day, right? Your warm up, your mobility, your strength, and your Metcon. We did talk about how initially if we were down to 30-minute classes or 40-minute classes, that certain programming just wasn't going to be feasible, i.e. comp class, right? Comp class just, it demands more time than that even gets close to. However, we did come to the agreement last night that you, as long as you sign up for one of those 4 spots, you get to utilize that 60 minutes how you want. We're gonna run class, warm up, strength, Metcon, all that good stuff. But like Jay Tulpa said, strength doesn't a lot of times suit his abilities, so he does his own version of strength and then jumps in on the Metcon. So that means he'll warm up with us, he'll do his own version of strength, and then he'll do the Metcon. Well, if that means you want to do your own version of strength and Metcon by chasing after comp class, you can, but do remember it's only 60 minutes, and comp class usually demands an hour and a half or more, and you won't have that ability to push into the next hour, just the way we're going to have it set up, and only having the ability to run 4 people at a time. So we're just trying to make sure it's fair for everybody, as fair as it can be, right? And as fun as it can be.
We'll share the checklist that Larimer County is making us abide by. So there will be certain things that you need to do as soon as you get to the gym and before leaving the gym. So first thing, when you come in the door, you'll be greeted at the door by a coach. We'll make sure you're asymptomatic, which you probably should be if you're showing up. And then from that point, you guys can then join classes as long as you're wearing a mask for the entire duration of that class. That's one of the big things that kind of changed for us is even if we do the outside workouts, everybody has to wear a mask. So that's where last night was decided that we would rock the 4-person classes and just do what we need to do. Like Cody said, open gym, as long as you're in your designated lane and you're not impeding on other people's space.
Yep. All right, so we'll pump the brakes just a little bit.
brakes, kid.
When he said when you guys come in, symptomatic questionnaire. Are you feeling ill? Have you felt ill? Is anybody that you're living with in direct contact been ill? If there's a yes to any of that, we do have to turn you away, right? You have to leave because those are one of those symptom checks the county will not let us have you in there with, which makes sense, right now. So if you feel ill, don't try to go, well, I'm just going to see how this goes.
Sweat it out.
You're not allowed to sweat it out in the gym. You can go sweat it out on a bike trail if you really wanted to, but reality is you should be staying home at that point. And then maybe it's just a bad day of allergies, cool, right? And things get better the next day. But don't lie to yourself and don't lie to us. If you're not feeling well, do the right thing. After our little questionnaire, hey, do you feel ill? Anybody that you've been around ill? If it's no, cool. You're gonna make yourself to one, or make your way to one of the 4 wash stations. There's gonna be one in the men's bathroom. Clearly, that's going to be for the men. There's 2 stations in the ladies' bathroom, and then we have the 1 station in the laundry room that will be open for you guys to utilize as well. So you'll go in there and you'll wash your hands nice and well for 20 seconds with soap and water. Dry them off, and then you can come into your designated working lane, right? We're still gonna have to have those, even though there's 4 of us in there, we're still gonna designate working lanes for you guys. Masks, like Kyle said, definitely will have to be on. Good news is I kind of got a preview of the masks that we're getting, and they seem to be very, very thin, which might make things a little bit more doable as far as actually trying to breathe through them. So we'll just hope that that is a correct assumption, that our masks will be pretty darn thin and easy to work with. But that's kind of the baseline on what that looks like for us. And you guys seem to all be on the same page as far as knowing that that's what we're doing. We're cool with it. And then we talked about the people that aren't quite ready to come back. You guys will have the ability to recheck equipment out once we get it back this weekend and get it cleaned and inventoried, right? That's my big thing. I have to inventory it to keep my county assessor sheet up to par, and I have to actually submit that real soon as well. So that's one of my biggest things there is I went to count all the equipment and none of it was in the gym. So I couldn't do that part of my yearly duties. So Zoom classes. We set those up where it's gonna be 6:45 instead of 7, starting on Monday. And then there's gonna be the 12 o'clock, and then there's gonna be the 6:20 starting on Monday, 6:20 p.m. In your Zoom, it's going to say 6:30 or 7 as it did a.m. and then it's also going to say 6:30. But we're going to start those classes early on Zoom. So we actually start at 6:45 in the morning and we start at 6:20 in the evening. So just know, even though it says 6:30 in the evening and 7 in the AM, it's going to start early. That way you're not confused. Yeah.
Yep. Class registration, because there's only 4 let in each class. Like Cody said, we're kind of split down the middle in terms of athletes that actually want to come and work out inside. So I don't know that it's even going to be a problem. But for the first week, don't go in and sign up for 5 days ahead of time just to save a spot. Sign up for 1 class and then see if other people fill in. At most, maybe plan on like three classes for the first week. Unless you see vacant spots kind of as that class approaches, then you can fill it in. And take that spot. But be courteous. There's a lot of people that may be trying to get into them. Then again, we might see more people outside working out.
Yep. Cool, dudes.
Cool.
We this is going to be a learning curve for us and for you, right? There's no perfect equation or perfect answer to this equation other than trial and error, right? So we're going to see what week 1 has to give us, and we will adapt during week 2 based on week 1, but we can only adapt based on what we see. We need your input and information based on how you feel if you're not getting into a specific class that you need to be in, do you have the ability to shift it over into a different class? Like some of our people are still working, right? We still have plenty of people that are still working that absolutely need that first 5:30 a.m. class. Can you adjust out to a little bit later class, maybe the 6:45 or 7:45? So just communicate with us. Let us know what is working for you and what doesn't seem to be working, so we can take that all into consideration, make adjustments on week 2 until we get released a little bit more through this phase 2 that comes up. And then we just keep plugging away, guys.
Choo choo.
Cool.
Cool.
Again, last thing I got for you, shirt orders for Murph. The way I think I'm gonna do them this go around, just because we're not all gonna be in the gym together, is I'm going to look at putting those on MindBody Online for sell, and that'll be how you basically register for your shirt. It won't be a pre-sale, it will actually be you go in, you sign up for your shirt, and then you'll pay for it right there, and that'll just prompt me that you've already paid and what size you're gonna need. So when I put the order in here coming up in about 2 weeks, I'll have everybody's order. So look for that. I'll send it out in an email coming up. We're also going to send out everything that we talked about, all the rules and regulations and stuff. You'll see email today. I know we said that you guys would see an email a couple days ago, but we had to pump the brakes because there was a lot of things that were changing as this was happening. So now that we know kind of the direction that we're going with the gym, you'll see that email. All right, Kyle is ready to show you your plate warm up for today's workout.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, guys, plate warm up. We're gonna do 4 different movements, 30 seconds at each. That first movement is going to be plate jumps. So we, without busting our ass, just gonna jump ladder. 30 seconds with balance. If you're having issues with balance, try to keep your chest more or less on the edge of the plate and just move your feet instead of trying to move your entire body. After 30 seconds there, we're gonna go into plate squats, front rack, back rack, whatever. Nice and slow. Stay mobile with it. Let's see how those hips feel and if you need to tie in any of your own mobility. Let's see, push press without knocking your nog. Find a good rack position, dip drive. It's easy to catch your big schnoz, so be careful on that one. And we're gonna finish out the warm up with 30 seconds of cleans. So same thing, don't jack your lip, pop the hip, rotate, and let's practice that aggressive hip hop because we're gonna have plenty of hang power cleans coming up in the workout. Cody, what do we got for strength, brother?
Do you smell what Thursday is bringing for you? It is that day where we get the arms as big as possible. Tabata is one of the easiest ways to give you guys an option to get a good solid bi and tri pump, as well as integrating some back row in there. So I went ahead and just left last week's Tabata strength in there. Now, if you're like, hey, I'd rather do a giant set of maybe I do back rows with some straight bar curls or easy bar curls, and then I do some single arm extensions, cool. By all means, do it. This is just a really easy format for you guys at home to stick to get a good pump on the bis, tris, and back. So what this was trying to simulate, right? Why we went with bis, tris, and back for Thursday strengths, because Thursday strength in regular class was pull-up strength and muscle-up strength, right? Getting on actual bar and doing actual pull-ups and muscle-ups, but we didn't have that available at home. A lot of us didn't, so here's a great substitution, right? Let's build those big muscle groups that help. So bis, back, and tris. Bis and back get us up there. Tris will help press us through. So there you go. All right, Kyle's ready to rock and roll. What you got the barbell for?
It's showing different versions of curls and rows and whatnot. But
awesome. So
if we've done that plenty, I'm good bypassing.
I mean, I like to show it just because then we get to do some curls.
A little mirror check.
All right, so if I've got my single dumbbell, cool. I'm going to work with a single dumbbell. And boom. 20 seconds on that left arm, going to town, yeah. After your 20 seconds there, you're going to switch, and I'm going to stay on the same arm, to a row, right? So for me, I'm going to do that lawnmower style row where I reach forward, pull up. Make sure I'm pulling with my elbow on this movement. Same thing with Kyle. Don't pull with your hand. Pull with your elbow. That way your back leads, right? Seems funny, but think about pulling back with your elbow. Then we're going to go into tricep extension. Kyle's going to do an overhead skull crusher type thing. I'm going to go ahead and do tricep kickback. And I like to add my own little flair here. I rotate my palm up. Woo! I don't just kick back, right? So do what feels good for you. I'm going to do a full Tabata on my left side, and then I'm going to do a full Tabata on my right side, to where I do 4 sets of curls, rows, and triceps on my left side, and 4 full sets on my right side. So that'll give you the appropriate time or rounds that you need for your Tabata. Cool?
Cool.
I have to do my right arm.
Yeah. Can't let Logan get too big.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, the workout today has that sort of weird flow. It is going to be 6 rounds for time. The first, third, and fifth round are all going to be the same. Second, fourth, and sixth are same format, but it's going to be reversed from right side to left. So first movement that we're going to do is a right arm. This is rounds 1, 3, and 5. A right arm dumbbell hang clean. So for 10 reps, we're going to start between the legs, pop the hip, and go for hang cleans for 10 right there. After we finish the right side 10 reps, then we're going to do a 50-meter walk overhead while bracing. So measure out before the workout, whether you go 25 meters down, 25 back, or just 50 out. And then we're going to come into 10 reps on a dumbbell clean on the left side, followed by a 50-meter farmer carry. Again, trying to stay tall and tight through that walk. That's going to be round number 1. Then, Cody, you got round number 2?
Yeah, round number 2, we're back on the right-hand side, right? And then we're going to go back into those cleans on the right side. I get my 10 cleans, and the round 1, after your 10 cleans on your right side, you went overhead. Well, round 2, after your cleans on your right side, you're going farmer carry, right? Tack down, make sure that we're not doing that lean over gangster, I've got too much weight in my bag at DIA. So straighten out, use your obliques to create that stability. And then I'm going to walk 50 meters out. When I get 50 meters out, I'm going to switch arms. And now I'm going to my hang cleans on my left side. Then when I'm walking back from my 50 meters, it's overhead in that tall braced position. Again, not offsetting, staying super tall. So all we did was we reversed the order, right? So now I'm doing the opposite carry on the opposite arm. And the way I wrote this is it's 100 meters that we're working with. So measure out 50 meters, put a cone or a marker out there, right? Walk 50 meters out with your right arm overhead. Boom, switch arms, do your cleans. Then walk back 50 meters with your farmer carry, then switch arms. And then you're just doing that same format, right? 25 out, 25 in is fine. Those are just shorter distances that you have to have turnaround. I prefer this longer distance that you have to work with without having to turn around and worry about that. So that means
outside anyway.
You're going to be outside enjoying the weather, and then you're going to be doing cool power cleans / bicep curls out there for your neighbors. So
cool. That's
cool
a workout.
Yeah, guys. Fun format, I think, but 6 rounds like Kyle said. Make sure you get on the Metcon page, read it, understand it, set yourself up before you actually go. Now, that is the at-home variation, right? For those of us that have more of a regular gym setup. And what if I have 2 bells? Okay, so now the workout does change a little bit. I'm going to have 2 bells, and I'm going to do double power clean, right, for 20 reps.
20? 10?
20 reps.
20. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put the weight to my overhead position, and I'm going to walk my 100 meters, right? And then I'm going to come back with a farmer carry, if I remember right. So just make sure you get on there and look at the home WOD if you have a single bell, and then look at the Metcon WOD if you have 2 items, because they do vary a little bit in how they work just because you have twice the amount of weight to work with. Same reps, same distance, just more weight, and it's built a little bit different. Cool?
Cool. All right, dudes. We will see you today, tomorrow, and Saturday for equipment check-in. Sign up on Mind Body Fat.
Yeah.
Nichols asked where we bought the stashes.